Hi ladies, welcome back to Spark School. This is a huge module. As we mentioned in the previous ones, this is all about breaking through those blocks, those old belief systems. And one of the biggest, most blocked belief system that people have is all about money, 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 money. Now, you either probably got a really positive or a really negative reaction, even when I said the word money, because there are so many people who struggle financially, who struggle with their thoughts and their beliefs and just their emotions around money or the lack of money in their life. So we are really going to break this down. Now, we've talked about where our belief systems have come before. I'm going to mention it so many times again because it's so important for us to understand why we have the beliefs that we do, particularly when it comes to the big blocks like this one. Now, again, environment is huge. So when you were growing up, what did money mean to your parents or to the people that were raising you? What messages were you getting about money, whether that be like verbally and consciously or unconsciously in your subconscious? What examples did you have of people outside of your family that had a good relationship with money? Do you have good experiences with money? Now, I can tell you for myself, growing up, I had a very young mom. She had me when she was barely 18. We struggled financially really all of my entire life, where we never had an abundance of money. So subconsciously, I had some pretty deep feelings around money that I didn't really unpack or undig until last year. And I want to talk to you about the process of how I was able to do that. But let's talk about, so that was my environment. Now, my experiences growing up, obviously I had no money, but even as an adult, my relationship around money was money is hard. Money means struggle. Like my experience with money was never really positive. Even when I got money, I didn't really believe it was going to last. Examples of people outside of my family, I didn't have a lot of friends who had money. I saw like the wealthy people on TV or, just in tabloids, but they never really mirrored me. They didn't come from a background like me. So I never really thought it was possible for me to have an abundance of money, nor was I even consciously putting those thoughts out into the world because I was never envisioning myself having money. Now, as we talked, the envisioning is the fourth and probably one of the most powerful ways that you can change your belief system. So that was one of the first things I started doing when I decided that I wanted to change my belief system around money. I started envisioning myself with money. What would I be doing with money? I would be traveling, or I would be growing Spark. I would be able to give back to those who supported me when I was younger. I wanted to, do things for my grandma, help my mom out, help my sister out. I wanted to be able to support the people around me, and I would visualize this constantly. Now, visualizing is very important, but I also had to shift my experiences. What are my experiences with money? Now, I can tell you some bad habits that I had around money for most of my life was not really valuing small amounts of money. I remember I had my purse and I would go to clean it out and it had like the gum wrappers and it had like little bits of like paper on the bottom of it, along with maybe a handful of change. Now I would go and dump that entire purse out in the garbage, basically telling the universe that I did not want money. So that changed once I realized that I was telling the universe that I didn't want money, but because every penny truly does count, you're sending signals out. I started changing and shifting my experiences with money. I started picking up pennies off the ground and saying, thank you so much for this penny. More, please. I get so excited when I find a loose dollar now in my pocket. And so I shifted my envisioning, I shifted my experiences. Now I needed to find examples. I started to look in places, listening to podcasts and YouTube videos of people that have come from similar backgrounds as me, from poverty, and how they shifted their relationship with money. And I started following some of the practices that they did, which we've taught about a lot in Spark School, with visualizing, with meditating, with journaling. And I started implementing all of those. Now, my environment, the people that were closest to me, now that is usually one of the hardest ones to shift, because particularly with money, because the people that are closest to you, they have their own relationship with money. So I started really trying to find people that were in my circle of influence that could show me good habits around money. I started finding friends that had a good relationship with money. I found a coach that had a great relationship with money, and I was able to see the possibility, and I started shifting my brainwaves and started rewiring and reprogramming all of the belief systems that I had around what abundance could really look like for me. Now, a lot of stuff shifted for me in summer of 2018, so this is not very long ago. I had to go from having a very steady source of income, a client that was paying me a fair amount of money, the money that I would have loved to have dreamed of when I was younger. I was making okay money, but I knew that this client wasn't in alignment with me. I knew that I wanted to create more things with Spark, and I knew I needed to raise my vibration, but I was terrified initially of letting go of this client because how else was I going to get money? I kept thinking that if I let go of this person, no more is going to come in. And I had to stop and really notice that is just a belief that I had. And I have the ability to create a new belief system with envisioning what life is going to look like if I let go of that client. And you know what? The minute that I did, all of a sudden opportunities and doors started opening. Within a week, I had a client that was paying me more than that client that was in much greater alignment with me. A month later, I had another big client. A month later, another big client. Before I knew it, I was making 4 times the amount of money within a very short amount of time because I shifted my environment, I shifted my experiences, I shifted my examples, and I envisioned like a crazy motherfucker. So what I want you guys to do, I want you to stop and think about where your belief system has been for your entire life around money. Go through all 4 examples, write it down, really think about it, and then start thinking about how you can start shifting that. Now, we've talked about envisioning, we've talked about all of the things. There are so many things that are in your control. We're gonna really, really ask you to dissect and dig deep, because if you don't have money, here's the thing. A lot of people have very big, strong beliefs around if you have money, then you might not be a spiritual person. If you have money, then you can't also be humble. All of this are BS beliefs. If you have money, you can create greater change in the world. If you have money, you can have so much to give back because you are in abundance. You can show others, you can be the example to others that it is okay to have money. Because you have money doesn't mean somebody else has less. So get that out of your head right now. And I want you to start getting very excited about all of the financial opportunities that are going to come to you, because you need to be living in your peak performance, and that includes having abundance in all areas of your life. I hope you're excited about this. All right, I will see you in the Facebook group. Let's rewrite our money stories, ladies. Bye.